This is a statement on the withdrawal of the security detail of the Honorable Justice Lawrence Mugambi. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 52.1 to make a statement on a matter of national and general topical concern, namely the withdrawal of the security of the Honorable Justice Lawrence Mugambi, Judge of the High Court of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, sir, on 13 September 2024, Honorable Justice Lawrence Mugambi issued a ruling in a contempt of court proceedings against Mr. Gilbert Masengeli, the Acting Inspector General of Police, sentencing him to 6 months in prison. This ruling has drawn a seemingly retaliatory action from the National Police Service, which withdrew the judge's security detail over the weekend. This action by the National Police Service is a violation of the rule of law and the principle of judicial independence enshrined in our Constitution. It is not only illegal, but outrightly unconstitutional. Mr. Speaker, sir, Article 160 of the Constitution provides for the independence of the judiciary and states that the judiciary shall be subject only to the Constitution and the law and not to be controlled or directed by any person or authority. The withdrawal of security for a sitting judge in response to his discharge of judicial duty is a direct contravention of this constitutional provision and must be condemned. Judicial officers must be at liberty to make decisions based on law, free from intimidation or coercion. Mr. Speaker, sir, I strongly condemn the intimidation of Honorable Justice Lawrence Mugambi. We must all take cognizance of the appeal processes provided in our laws for any party who feels dissatisfied with a court ruling, rather than resort to revenge missions against the judiciary. Such actions, Mr. Speaker, not only seek to undermine the authority of the courts, the administration of justice, but also suggests that judicial decisions can be influenced by external factors other than the law. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is imperative that we take note of these actions by the National Police Service and their potential impact on our judicial system. As a retired judge and Senate Minority Leader, I have also suffered the wrath of holding the executive accountable that resulted in the withdrawal of my security detail. This unjust behavior of the National Police Service of withdrawing security detail without stated and justifiable reasons for the same must stop henceforth. Mr. Speaker, sir, we must respect the principle of separation of powers and uphold the rule of law. The independence of the judiciary is a fundamental tenet enshrined in our Constitution. It is essential for the protection of human rights, promotion of fairness, and upholding of democratic values. The judiciary must be allowed to operate free from external pressures and interference, ensuring that every case is heard and adjudicated based solely on its merits. Mr. Speaker, we must safeguard judicial independence and ensure that the judiciary can fulfill its role without compromise. Let us uphold the principles of justice, fairness, and the rule of law for the benefit of all Kenyans. I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senator Justice Retired Stuart Mazayo, EGH MP, Senator for Kilifi County. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Osotsi.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order number 58 to make a personal statement regarding my nomination by the Orange Democratic Movement ODM party to serve as the deputy party leader. Mr. Speaker, sir, in light of the significant vacancies created by the recent resignation of our two deputy party leaders, as well as the national chairperson of ODM, the Secretary of Political Affairs, and a member of the Party Election Coordinating Committee, the Party Central Committee convened on the 9th of August 2024 to deliberate on the critical leadership matters. These departures stirred substantial interest within our party, demonstrating the dedication and passion of the members towards the leadership and future of the party. Mr. Speaker, sir, I stand here with profound gratitude to our party leader, Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, and the entire ODM fraternity for placing their trust in me for this important role. My nomination as the deputy party leader is not only a personal honor, but also a reflection of the party's confidence in this Senate. And the essential role we play in the governance of our nation. ODM has been a strong pillar in the promotion of devolution and the passage of the Constitution of Kenya, which remains central to our democracy. My selection is a reaffirmation of the party's unwavering belief in the principles of devolution, which we senators are entrusted to safeguard. As I embrace this responsibility, Mr. Speaker, I pledge to serve our party with the same dedication and integrity that have guided many of us in our various capabilities. I extend my deepest appreciation to all those who supported me, including my friend and SG Edwin Sifuna, Siaya Senator Oburu Odinga, and all the ODM members in this house. And in present and former ODM members.
Order.
And encourage those who were not selected to unite with us in advancing and strengthening our party mission. Together, we continue to build on the legacy of ODM and lead the party to greater success for the betterment of our nation and the devolution process, which is dear to this House, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
Now, honorable senators, order, Senator Sifuna. Pursuant to Standing Order 53.3, I will allow comments on the statements that have been sought under Standing Order 53. And that excludes the statement by Senator Mazayo, read on his behalf by Senator Sifuna, and the statement by Senator Osotsi. So your comments shall be restricted to the statements made pursuant to Standing Order 53.1. Senator Manzo Daniel. Read your standing orders, honorable senators. Senator Manzo.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I had prepared myself to make comments on Senator Sifuna's matter, but unfortunately from your ruling, then I am unable to proceed.
Then take your seat. Senator Cherargei.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me, I hope you'll allow understanding order number 1 as I contribute of your discretion. One, I wanted to say something about CES.
I've made a ruling.
Okay. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank that CES money in Nandi we have not seen, especially on the issue of sugar and tea. I want to thank Senator Professor Tom Ojenda for bringing that up. The deputy party leader of ODM, who is my neighbor from Vihiga. We are working closely under the broad-based, Mr. Speaker, to address the issue of CES. I have had a sitting, and I'm happy that he enjoys unlimited access to broad-based engagement within government as the deputy party leader, so that we can discuss the issue of CES going into the future, Mr. Speaker. I want to encourage my professor, when the committee shall be looking into this matter, Professor Tom Ojenda, which of late I have seen him wearing more of orange colors unlike before, and I hope the SG is noting that we need to ensure we demand the CES money. Should it be done by KERA? Should it be given to Kura or county governments to go into the future, Mr. Speaker? So even, Mr. Speaker, as we look at the CES money across Kericho County, Bomet, Nandi, Vihiga, Mr. Speaker, where our deputy party leader of ODM comes from, we must sit as a committee speaker and as a house to audit this money, Mr. Speaker. You remember when you were the governor of Kilifi, which you left a very indelible mark in terms of governance and leadership in that county, you used to receive what you call RMF. road maintenance levy fund, Mr. Speaker. And I'm happy I have some long enough in public accounts, and you are a very good client when you used to appear before our committee, Mr. Speaker. And I'm happy you continue to maintain the same tradition, Mr. Speaker. So I want to insist that the issue of taking road maintenance levy fund to counties should be returned, Mr. Speaker. The issue of cess money should be given to the roads, Mr. Speaker, so that we can have roads in Nandi, in anywhere, even in Kisumu, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to support this statement and also wish the Deputy Party Leader of ODM all the best. He has our support, Mr. Speaker. We will ensure we support him before the floor of the House. But out of curiosity, ODM has never brought even one governor in the spirit of devolution so that we can impeach or not. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Sifuna.
Honorable Chair, allow me to comment on the statement that has been requested by Senator Raphael Chimera on this issue of tolling along the Dongokundu bypass. Indeed, we at the Senate Transport Committee, which is ably chaired by Senator Thangwa, have had resolved to invite the Minister for Transport to give us the government's position, the Kenya Kwanza government's position on tolling on roads. Because, Honorable Speaker, just, you must protect me, Honorable
Speaker. Order. Majority Leader. Majority Leader. You're the Majority Leader for Kenya Kwanza government.
Correct.
Proceed.
Honorable Chair, thank you for that protection. We as the Transport Committee wanted to know what the government, the Kenya Kwanza government position is on road tolling. Because, Mr. Speaker, we wake up one day and we hear that here in Nairobi they are going to start tolling Thika Road, for instance, a road that was built using taxpayer money. And Kenyans have been using these roads all this time. You cannot just wake up one day and start tolling Thika Road or even the Southern Bypass. Honorable Speaker, we had proposed to summon the ministry so that they come and tell us what the policy position is. But I was very happy reading the papers this week that out of that outcry, the public outcry, they have abandoned that path and that they would come up with a new tolling policy for the roads that have been constructed, especially the ones recently, including the Dongokundu bypass. Honorable Chair, we still continue to see you know, in the calculation of the prices of fuel, even this month, the Kenya Kwanza government, Honorable Speaker, is insisting on rates that have been even declared unconstitutional and unleviable by the courts, Honorable Speaker. So we want to know what the policy is. And the people of Dongokundu might not be as lucky as the people of Thika Road and the Southern Bypass, Honorable Speaker, because that is a fairly new road. And if they start off by tolling it, maybe it would be different from the policy whereby you allow people to use roads and then out of the blue, you decide that you're going to toll those roads. So, Honorable Speaker, I want in the response, the committee must insist that one of the problems we have is there is no clarity of government policy. It is not fair for people to be ambushed every day by changes of policy. Even, I wish the chair of Transport Committee was here. Even on this question of concessions to the airport, Honorable Speaker, the problem is that one of the problems is that this government does not know how to communicate its policy. We were here with you, Honorable Speaker, in November of last year, when the then CS, Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, told us that they were going to put out an international tender to invite expressions of interest to upgrade JKIA, only for us to be told now, months later, in fact, he had told us that the international tender would go out in January of this year. And then you hear again that there is a different process that is going on under the PPP Act. That confusion and lack of miscommunication on when policy changes and the lack of involvement of the public in policy decisions is what is bringing this problem. So I'm hoping, Mr. Speaker, that when the committee deals with this issue, there can be some formal clarification of what the government policy is on tolling. This tolling, Speaker, we had abandoned it because we introduced RMLF. That instead of charging tolls on the road, let us put it as part of the cost of fuel, and then we use it to maintain our roads. If there has been a policy shift, I think it is incumbent upon the government to say, this is now the new policy. We have abandoned RMLF, we are going back to tolling. It will begin on such and such a day on all the roads of Kenya, or certain particular roads. But for things to be happening like this, Honorable Speaker, shrouded in secrecy and lack of clarity of policy is what is bringing problems for the Kenya Kwanza government. So I can advise you from outside, Honorable Majority Leader, Honorable Speaker, from outside, those of us who are outside government, what we are saying, those of us who are outside government, Honorable Speaker, I want to advise this government that communication is key and clarity in policy is important if you're going to win the support of the people. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Oroba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to add my voice on two statements. On one statement by Senator Chimera. Before that, I want to congratulate Senator Osotsi for his new position as the Deputy Party Leader of ODM. We are very happy to see you there, and I'm sure that my governor of Kisii County...
Senator Oroba.
Okay.
You're out of order.
Congratulations, Senator Osotsi. Okay, on the statement of Senator Chimera on the Talanta Hela project, Mr. Speaker, there are three issues that, that Senator Chimera has raised, and two of them touch on how we are developing talents. And I think I want to ask Senator Chimera to go and look for Senator Sifuna's proposed bill on the county sports fund, because some of the issues that he's raising on these statements are actually being cured there. Mr. Speaker, we have had a situation where we had a former minister of sports who launched an app that until today is not working, Mr. Speaker. And that Talenta Hela is theoretically supposed to be a project that actually deals with this sport.